FDMG!
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Umar Johnson. I am a certified school psychologist.
Hi, Dr. Umar. I'm so happy that you're my principal. I love FDMG. Can you tell me about the school?
We are going to make history. We are going to shock the world. We are going to transform the entire community, one black boy at a time. In this school, you don't have to worry about special education. In this school, you don't have to worry about ADHD diagnoses. In this school, you will never get a phone call from a teacher or an administrator telling you that your child needs dangerous psychiatric medication in order to get an education.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning on in. We got quite a bit to get into. I'm going to try to keep it in and around an hour and a half, hour, 45 minutes. I'm going to do my best. Quick question. Thank y'all so much for tuning on in. Y'all undefeated. Love y'all. Let's go.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG it's coming. 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 Oh, it's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. Thought his personality be twerking. It's twerking.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone for tuning on in. We got quite a bit to get into. Let's do this real quick for TJ Dodd, Conservative Hustler. I find it fascinating over the last couple of days. It's a trigger. Whenever I talk about Umar and his sexual exploitation of Black women, that's when I tend to get a lot of these types of messages. See, I can talk about the school. I can talk about the Umar Johnson's financial exploitation of the Black community. I can talk about all the different levels of hypocrisy present inside of Umar Johnson. I can talk about Umar's neglect of his children. But as soon as I talk about Umar's disrespect of Black women in particular, I tend to get an uptick in these types of comments. Okay. Now, the difference between me and Umar is that when someone asks me a question like this, I'm not going to go off on a person. In general, I tend not to. I mean, one of the challenges I have these days is I don't have the same level of patience that I've had in the past for Umar Johnson followers. In the past, I just had more patience. But at this point, given Umar Johnson's record and the fact that everything is online, and if you should be able to spend no less than 20 hours researching Umar. And at some point in those 20 hours, there's a light bulb that should go off in your mind wherein you realize that he's nothing more than a fraudster. And because he's been online for such a long time, defrauding Black people and targeting Black women, and in particular, sexually exploiting Black women, that's the kind of what we're getting into now. I don't have the patience. I just don't have the patience, because the way I look at it is that if all the information is out there and you can do your own due diligence, then there's no need for me to argue with people as to why they should see Umar for who he is. He's a charlatan. He's a womanizer. He's sexist against women. He has hatred towards women. And this is this new series that I'm going to start. It's a trigger for a lot of people. And it's not just a trigger for Black men. It's a trigger for Black women, too. I said something yesterday, and I think that that's one of the reasons why I've gotten an uptick from Black women in their comments. I said something to the effect is one of the reasons why there are some Black women who accept Umar as some sort of representation of Black manhood and masculinity, or even fatherhood for that matter, is because they're used to dealing with those types of men in their lives, like Umar, who's a deadbeat, doesn't take care of his kids, doesn't have a job, lives inside of his mama's closet, literally, has raised $2.6 to $2.7 million. The truth is, it could be $2.6 to $3 million by now, but I go with $2.6 to $2.7 million donation money for a school that does not exist, under the premise that he's going to open up a school for all Black boys. Okay, that's just a manipulative tactic on behalf of Umar Johnson. He manipulates people by saying that I'm going to save your sons from the school to prison pipeline. I'm going to save your sons from ADHD. I'm going to save your sons from the prison industrial complex, which is gatewayed via special education. Okay. So the point that I'm getting at is that there are Black women who have, because they've dealt with these types of men who are no more than charlatans, and in particular Black men, and who are no more than baby mama creators. They're no more than men who are seeking to sexually exploit Black women or to financially exploit Black women. They don't take care of their kids, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're so used to dealing with these types of Black men that when someone like Umar comes along, when all this information is available online, they dismiss these facts. It's almost as if they don't see these facts, and so they defend Umar. That's a trigger for some Black women. I highly doubt it's a trigger for Black women who see Umar for who he is. Just like I highly doubt that when I speak about Umar's sexual exploitation of Black women, I highly doubt that's a trigger for Black men who are not sexually exploiting Black women. This makes sense? So one of the things I'm not going to do, which is what Umar does, is I'm not going to berate you, TJ. I'm not going to disrespect you, TJ. I'm not going to call you names. Okay, this is what Umar does to people who criticize him. This is what Umar Johnson followers do who criticize Umar. I'm not going to do that to you, because I always stick to the facts, and I have receipts to back up everything that I say. Anyone can say anything. TJ, I can say something about you right now, and then people are like, oh, wow, it must be true. No, but did I provide any proof of this? See? Where is the actual proof of this? Everything that I say about Umar, I have proof. Now, there are times where I speculate, and when I speculate, I tell people in advance, I'm going to speculate here. Okay? And speculation can be wrong. It could be incorrect. I mean, it could be true. See? So let me, TJ, let me go ahead and just do this. Not in disrespect of you, because these types of questions, I've seen this. Listen, I've been at this for such a long time that there's nothing, and I was going to actually post this earlier. There's nothing that an Umar, and I'm not saying that you Umar Johnson follower, TJ, but let me just be clear about this. There's nothing that you Umar Johnson followers or apologists can say to me that's going to stop me from sharing the truth about Umar. You can lie on me. That's happened plenty of times. You can attack via internet. You can attack my wife. That's happened plenty of times. You can attack my children. That's happened plenty of times. In fact, we had to shut down social media sites for some of our kids. And one of the individuals recently passed away who was involved in this type of behavior. And all I had to do, I could have made a phone call and sent a couple of emails. And they thought that they were anonymous, but I have a degree in cybersecurity, so I know how to get my receipts on people. And I could have been a major disruption in this person's life and this person's career, but I decided not to. See, I could have made one. No, it would have been more than one call. I could have made 3 phone calls and sent correspondence via email to these 3 people. Okay, and it would have disrupted this person's whole lifestyle. I didn't want to do that. Okay, so I'm bringing this up to say that you Umar Johnson followers, there's nothing that you can say that's going to stop me. And you can lie as much as you want to. You can seek to dissuade me. You can call me names. You can do all that stuff. It's not going to make a difference. Okay. Now, TJ, I'm not saying that that's you, but I just want you to know that these types of questions are similar, if not exactly the same that Umar Johnson followers ask, and also Umar Johnson himself. See, I find it fascinating how Umar Johnson's followers, they tend to repeat verbatim. And what that means is that they will say exactly what Umar Johnson says when Umar is criticized. Now, why are you sweating this man? So if people don't know the vernacular, that's like saying, why are you talking about this man? And I'm going to assume that you're referring to Umar Johnson. Well, there's many different reasons. In fact, before we get into this, because this is going to be good. This new series is going to deal with Umar Johnson's disrespect of Black women. And that's one reason right there. And this is part one. So you guys can expect this to be an ongoing series dealing with Umar Johnson. We can talk about the school. We can talk about the FDMG crowdfunding. We can talk about the FDMG school scam. We can talk about all the times that Umar Johnson has changed the grand opening date. He changed it. He said it was going to open in 2013. Then he said it was going to open in 2014, 15, 16, 2013. Then he said it was going to open in 2015. Then he said it was going to open 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's another reason why TJ talk about Umar, because a lot of people don't know the history and they don't know the timeline. Timeline is so very important with Umar, and they haven't done the research. They don't know Umar like I know Umar. TJ, I know more about, and I'll say this as a statement of fact. I know more about Umar than you do. I know more about Umar than his most stout supporter. And it amazes me when people say things like, I didn't know that he was, Umar Johnson supporters, I didn't realize that he was scamming. Yeah, but if you're a follower of Umar and you do your due diligence, you should have known that by now. That's another reason why I do these videos, because it provides people with the information and the receipts that they can use to make an informed decision as to whether or not they're going to support or even defend Umar. See, most people don't know much about Umar. So that's another reason. The disrespect of Black women is another issue, TJ. Another issue is Umar's proclivity to, it's really the sexual exploitation of Black girls. That should be more than enough reason for anyone to talk about Umar. Just like with Polite. See, people weren't talking about Polite like Polite should have been talked about. But all the information was out there about Polite, but people didn't do their due diligence. But see, if people have been speaking about Polite, then who knows what may not have happened versus what has happened, if you guys catch my drift. And he's in jail now for what he did. And I don't know if you're familiar with that, TJ, but you can take some time to do some research on that. Same thing with Jay Morrison. $11.5, $12 million he's taken from the Black community. That's a significant amount of money from Black people in particular for a trust fund. If more people knew about his history and his criminal history in particular, perhaps less people would have been victimized by him financially. I can go on and on and on and give you plenty of other examples of this, but I want to stick with this issue with Umar when it comes to the disrespect of Black women. Any man, Black man in particular, if you have any kind of care for Black women, you understand that part of your role is to keep them safe. And and it's really a duty, if you adhere to that duty, which is honorable in my opinion, then you will recognize that when injustices take place against Black women, then you're going to speak out about it. That's another reason why I speak out about Umar Johnson. I mean, the list goes on and on. Let's do a quick exercise, TJ, for everyone, and everyone start a quick chat. Then we're going to get into the show. Thank you all so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Quick chat. Let's come up with 10 reasons as to why it's important to talk about Umar, and it could be in any sphere. It can be with the school for Black boys. It could be with the sexual exploitation of Black women. It could be the sexual exploitation of Black girls. And when I'm speaking about the sexual exploitation of Black girls, I have it on record where Umar is actually filming the body parts of little girls. Just like I gave an example yesterday of him filming the body parts of women at a slave dungeon. Who does that? See, I mean, we'll put that on the list too. But if quick question, if you don't mind, let's just put together 10. I'll throw this one out. The fact that he scammed the Black community out of millions of dollars up to this point for a school that does not exist. He conceptualized FDMG in 2005. In 2010, he stated that the school was going to open in 2013. In 2014, he started raising money for the St. Paul school scam. In 2019, he purchased these abandoned buildings. February 2019, he purchased these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. And here we are now, almost 6 years later, and not one black boy has been educated. And if you go back to when he conceptualized this in 2005, we're almost at 20 years later, and he's collected all this money. And then he uses this as a platform, this is number 2, to sexually exploit black women. So that's 2 things right now, okay? All right. Let's see, real quick, we'll do this real quick. I'm sorry, my camera just went out. I've been having problems. Even before I started this show, I was having problems. So if you guys don't mind, I just won't be on here I won't be visible to you in terms of video, okay, if you guys don't mind. But I'll correct it in just a little bit, okay? To prevent other people from getting scammed, absolutely. That's a huge one. Okay, so that's an important reason as to why we should talk about Umar. That's 3 right there. Okay, let's come up with 7 more. I mean, I can just throw them out if you guys want me to. But let me check inside the chat room here. Someone said, I need you to inner stand, overstand, upside down stand, and outer stand, my brothers, my brothers and sisters. Okay. All right. Okay. TJ did say, I've been known about him for years. He do him, period. Yeah, well, that's true about that. You know, he definitely, it's all about Umar. It's a narcissistic quality. But I guarantee you, TJ, you do not know more about Umar than I do. I can guarantee you that. And that's no disrespect to you. In fact, as I'm speaking to you, you should be able to see this, that I have not disrespected you at all. But I can say as a statement of fact that you don't know more about Umar. In fact, if you want to, you can come on. You can come on and you can challenge me as to whether or not you're more knowledgeable than I am about Umar. Okay. So, and this is no disrespect, but if you want to, here's the link right here. Okay. All right. Let me just check in here real quick. Yeah, I don't see any other example. I mean, I can provide other examples. Let me do this. Let me reset this so that you guys can actually see me. Give me like 5 seconds. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Can you guys see me? What's up, Mixer Monica? Thanks for tuning on in. X Freeman, I appreciate you tuning on in. I was having problems with my webcam before I started, and then it's probably going to be intermittent throughout the live stream. Okay. Oh, he left. Okay, it's all good. It's okay. Anyway, I can give other examples as to why. I can give another example because in terms of what he represents as a father, he's a deadbeat. He doesn't take care of his kids. He doesn't pay child support on time. He's an absentee father. That's another reason why. Here's another reason why. He sets a very poor standard for black men to follow when it comes to masculinity. See, masculinity is not about sexually exploiting black women. It's not about talking about crushing cookies all the time. See, masculinity is really about being in service and being a protective force in other people's lives, and in particular, your wife and your kids. That's another one. I mean, I can run down a whole list of examples as to why we should speak about Umar. But to close this little section out, just be clear. I want everyone to be clear about this. You Umar Johnson followers, there's nothing that you can say to me that's going to stop me from speaking about Umar. I do take breaks from time to time, but it's not because of anything that you guys have done or anything that you guys have said. At the end of the day, facts are facts and receipts are receipts, and I don't have to twist things up. People have done that with me. I don't have to lie. People have done that with me. What I mean by that, Umar Johnson followers have done that with me, but just because they've done that, and Umar's done that with me too, where he stated things that were untrue and he's lied. But just because he does something wrong doesn't mean I'm going to do something wrong back to him. I just don't live my life that way. So to close out this section, just be clear about this. You Umar Johnson followers, especially when you're triggered on this issue of Umar's disrespect, it's quite telling, if you ask me, that this is one of the issues wherein Umar Johnson followers who are men and women, they start to take offense. See, I can talk about other issues, but when I talk about this particular issue, and that's what we're going to get into today, won't keep you long, that's when people tend to get I don't even know what the word is. Defensive, I guess. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. How's it going? Bless up, Kev. Thank you for tuning on in. Let me give some. No, Eastby. Don't do TJ like that. Let's be nice. How's it going, Kofi? Thanks for tuning on in. Nixus Monica said Umar's a deadbeat and don't pay child support, but you trust him with other people's kids. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Someone got blocked. Camp clothing. Yeah, this happens whenever I talk about this particular issue. The Umar Johnson followers and it's probably Umar. Okay, what's up, Seven Still? I ain't seen you in a minute. Hope you're doing all right. Sigmund says if the Kufi goons came strong today, can't argue with if the Kufi goons came strong today, can't argue with logic and facts. That's why TJ left. Yeah. Well, the thing is that Umar doesn't deal in facts, and he doesn't deal in logic either. In fact, if you guys research Umar enough, you realize that he contradicts himself. He contradicts himself a whole lot. But that's because he spends a lot of time lying. He's a habitual liar, in fact. And what happens with habitual liars, they'll tell a lie back in 2017, but they forget about that lie. And then they'll tell another lie in 2023. And then those two lies actually contradict each other. See, I've seen this over and over again as I've done this research with Umar. See, that's why Umar can't deal in facts, because he's a habitual liar. And then in terms of logic and reason, there's a lot that Umar says that it's just simply not logical. It's not reasonable either. See, I've heard him say things like, The Purge. He was reviewing these Purge movies. I haven't seen these Purge movies yet, but he was talking about how the directors, they've been watching his content and they owe him money because they've taken his content in order to put that movie together. And then he was saying how a conspiracy theory where really the Purge is what's really happening, except that Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, they're going to be bringing mercenaries over to the United States of America, and these mercenaries from Russia, they're going to be put in inner cities to kill black people. He says that's what the Purge is all about. What? Of course, none of this has happened, but it goes to show you that there's no logical reason. See? Same thing with the Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, when Kobe Bryant perished in a helicopter crash. Umar, he was online right away talking about how he saw footage of it and how it was a conspiracy and the NBA was a suspect and how they were, he always does that. But the point is that it's illogical. There's a lot that he says that makes no sense. And then we're going to get into it. I didn't mean to go off, everyone, and get sidetracked, but one of the most disturbing aspects of Umar's illogic was there was a time where it was the same video where he was doing the Kobe Bryant rant, and he was throwing out these conspiracy theories. And at a certain point, his phone gets knocked over by the wind, and Umar says, and I quote, and I'm paraphrasing, he says something to the effect of Mama Oya, which is it's an aspect of nature, but people perceive it to be a deity. Umar does, at least, a deity in Ifam. That Mama Oya blew the wind, which is an aspect of the wind, blew the phone off, knocked the phone down. And that's not proof, but that's some damn good evidence. In other words, that's evidence as to Umar's conspiracy theory that Kobe Bryant was killed by the NBA. It's just so ridiculous, so disrespectful. So because the phone gets knocked off, that's his reasoning, that's his logic. You see what I'm saying? So with Umar, let's be clear about this. There's a lot that he says. I can run down a whole big list. But the thing is that Umar Johnson followers and Umar Johnson's defenders, the one thing that you can't get with me on is the research, and you can't get with me intellectually. And you can't get with me in logic streams dealing with Umar Johnson. And that's not being arrogant. I'm just stating facts, because I've put in the time to do my due diligence, and I have all the receipts, and I can pull it up, and I can back up everything that I say. You Umar Johnson followers, you can't do that. Okay? Now, and I'm not saying that you should be able to do that, because it takes a lot of time. But understand that just because you're Umar Johnson followers and you seek to disparage me or to seek to dissuade me from talking about Umar, it's not going to work, because I know more about Umar than you do. See? So let me speak my speech, let me do my thing, and let me do my best to educate people, including you Umar Johnson followers, about Umar Johnson. And one last point. You notice how I'm not berating you, TJ, and I'm not calling you out your name, and I'm not being disrespectful to you, and I'm not yelling and screaming and ranting. Who does that? Umar does that. See, not me. I'm fairly rational and I'm fairly calm, and I tend to keep my composure for the most part. I don't have the same levels of patience that I've had with Umar Johnson followers, but I will entertain you all from time to time. Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Okay. So this is a new series that I'm starting dealing with Umar and specifically dealing with his hatred and disrespect of Black women. There is a poll. If you have not voted on the poll, I want to encourage y'all to do this. To do that, I'm going to try to get through this live stream in an hour and a half. I'm going to try my best. Okay. The question is, what level of hatred do you think Umar has for Black women? Okay. So far, there's 357 votes. 14% say that Umar has a low level of hatred for Black women. 14% say that Umar Johnson have a middle level of hate. If you always just say mid. 24% say high, and then 47% say extremely high. Now, someone could say, and I think it's a reasonable question. They can say, well, why didn't you put on there that he has no hatred for women? Well, because that wouldn't be factual. And I'm going to give you guys some examples during this live stream. And I got to pull everything up. Every time I have to reset my camera, I got to go back and pull up all of the videos. So it's going to be a little bit different. I hope you guys can be patient with me today. I'm going to provide you guys with some specific receipts for you guys to take a look at. There's going to be videos that I pull up where Umar is speaking at speaking engagement. There's going to be a couple of videos that I pull up where Umar is sitting inside of his mama's closet. Okay. All right. So let me pull up the first one now. You guys, please, if you don't mind, if you can be a little bit patient with me, because I was having trouble when I started this live stream, before I started the live stream. And every time my camera goes out, I have to actually reset everything and pull everything back up. So I'm going to start with, let's start with the video that we covered yesterday. That's another thing. I think there's people in the UK they've seen the video from yesterday, the two videos. There's two of them, part 1 and part 2. And that there may be some of those individuals who Umar Johnson followers, and they haven't been acclimated to what I talk about here dealing with Umar, but they're going to get caught up. If you guys stick around, you Umar Johnson followers, you stick around long enough, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. This is the video that we talked about yesterday. It's real brief. I'll play this, and this will give me some time to pull up the other ones. Here we go.
Came to Britain to build up this country, okay? I've heard everything you had to say this evening. Now.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, other kid. Yeah, you can only vote once. You didn't see the fourth option. There's 4 options: low, mid, high, and extreme. Extremely high. What's up, Jesus Christ, God's little princess? Thank you so much. If you disrespect or flirt with Lenon, I'm blocking you. Put some respect on it. Say, I appreciate that, God's little princess. I appreciate that. Okay. Yeah. There are. All right, Susan. What's up, Yolanda? Okay. All right, let me let this play. Let me go pull up these other videos. Here we go.
On top of all of that, all of us are sitting here. We have all got children ourselves. You targeted one thing for me this evening. Is the speech that you're making this evening is well and good doing it to us, but it's the children after us that need to be hearing this, because I'm going to be dying, and my next generation is my children and everybody else's children in this room, who at the end of the day is not hearing this preaching.
We need to teach them.
Now, I'm going to say one thing to you, yeah? I told my son, my youngest, he's 27 years old, he was raised appropriately, he works, he has a profession, okay?
Oh.
I told him, I'm coming to Birmingham to see you. He said, oh, I said I'm going to see Umar Johnson. He went, no, Mum, you're going to see Dr. Umar. And I said that was great. Then I told him how I watched you the other day on WhatsApp about your honey bunnies, no white bunny, chocolate bunny, which color bunny, and you was promoting all our black sisters. Do you know what my son said to me? He said, Mum, I understand all that. But and I'm just going to quote what my 27-year-old said to me, who actually knows about you. Well, I don't know what he knows, but what he said was, Mum, why is it, if he's talking about representing the black sisters, and the black sisters, our brothers need to know who we are, and be dating the black sisters in the community, or go and find them in every other race, he said, why is it that Dr. Umar has free, please let me just say this, right? Why does he have 3 children with 3 baby mothers? And if they're all black queens, why has he not taken one of those queens and made them his absolute queen and showed the black brothers that no matter what children you have, one of your mothers should be your permanent wife. That's what my son said to me.
That's powerful. I got a question. When did I get a third baby mom and a third baby?
I don't know.
When did I get?
See how he starts yelling? Umar Johnson follows. I'm not going to do that to you. But see, this also shows Umar Johnson's emotional immaturity. He has a very little emotional control, which is a serious problem.
When did I get a third baby mom and a third baby?
I don't know.
When did I get a third baby mom and a third baby?
Can I just say, I did say to my son,
Put babies on me. Look.
no, but listen, Dr. Umar, I did say to my son, when you are in the media, people will find a way to discredit you. So please don't listen to everything that you hear. But sometimes there's no smoke without fire. So I had to just say to him, I do not know about what you're talking about, and what he hears, he does not know it's a guaranteed fact neither. But I was just about to bring that to you. Okay? Thank you.
And it's a good question.
Yeah, you see how they get her off? See, they will silence black women in this way. And I have to say this, that historically speaking, it's been mainly black women who have had the courage to speak out about Umar. And that's a damn shame, historically speaking. And I've done the research. I don't even want to say this, but if there was a Umar historian, it would be me. And in all of the research that I've done, and I'm not saying that there haven't been black men who've spoken out against Umar. That's not what I'm saying. In fact, I've spoken out about Umar. There's people inside the chat room. KKC, if he's still here, he's spoken out about Umar. Has for a long time. Information Man has. I don't know if he's here this evening or today, but he's spoken out about Umar. There's plenty of black men have done. But historically speaking, when it comes to live events where Umar is speaking, historically speaking, the vast majority of the people that have spoken out against Umar, if you guys want to say it this way, into his face, it's been black women. So what tends to happen is that these so-called men who are Umar Johnson supporters and defenders and apologists, they seek to silence the black women who speak out against Umar. You guys want me to pull up? I'll pull up another example right now. Watch this. It just came to mind. And as we do this, it's going to take time because I got to go back in here and pull stuff back up. But if you guys just be patient with me during this live stream. Give me one moment. Oh, I'm in the wrong folder. That's why. Hold on one second. On the wrong drive. Yeah, here it is right here. Now there's actually 3 videos. I'm not sure if this is the right one. So let me do it this way because I have all 3. Let's try this one first. This might not be the one, but let's see.
Now we're here at the House of Culture, and I'm not going to interrupt the session.
Excuse me. The lady wants her before she gets out.
And I'm not paying to come in. Whoa. But I will be here when this brother step out. Where's Cash? Where's Umar? Excuse me. Wait. Where is he? Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, because brother. Oh, he see me. You got some explaining to do. Some apologies to make and some debts to pay. Brother.
Oh no, I got you, man. I got you.
Yeah, I got me. I got me. Where we at with my money? Yeah, don't run. I'll be here when you come out. Oh, he can't save you. Don't call security. You can call the police. Yeah, I'm here, Cass. Yeah, and I'll be back. Excuse me. Indeed.
Let me pull up this other one. I think it's this one right here.
Go ahead.
Okay, blessings, black people. This is Queen Sister here. Everybody in this town know Chubby Stubby owes me money, and Chubby Stubby owes me money. Black people, I don't chase men and I don't chase money. I don't know how long this brother thought I was going to allow him to hide under this sister's skirt like funky pussy. I'm sure nobody here asked him, where's his check? You understand? Where's Plan B? Here is the Freedom of Information quest and his email. Here is the document he issued. He knew that he was not a certified psychologist. Excuse me. And here is the document. And it's a shame that black folks have to involve flesh folks in our shit. But I'm not going to chase him. I'm going to send the dark and the dark at his ass. And I will see his ass in court. Peace and love. Excuse me, brother. Excuse me.
I have to excuse you.
Excuse me.
No.
This is Cam's house. And Cam walked me up here. Let's be clear here. This is King. Cam is the king of this gas.
Excuse me, miss.
Now, excuse me. Excuse me. Brothers, get up off me. Y'all don't even know that brother. And you protecting him like this. Are you serious? This brother owed me money. Did you ask him where his check at? Huh?
Sister, it's not the time for that.
Cam, step me up here. Man, you got a whole lot of Mendez old brothers up in here pretending they can't take a marshmallow punch, protecting his brother.
You cannot do that right
Up here,
now.
but it's done.
It's time for this.
Don't go, hey, back up off my shit. Back up.
We gotta go.
See, because I got a crew, and I got a tribe.
What's going on?
Brother.
Cam, the sister says you want to have that
Excuse me, Cam.
energy that we don't want to have it.
Now, they don't want this energy.
We want her to go. That's what we want her to go.
I know you do.
Wait a minute.
I know you do,
man.
Okay, exactly.
You want to hear?
Excuse me, I'm done.
Hey, don't play like
Cam, I'm done.
Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute.
This is your house?
That's right.
See that the brother gets this.
Come on, walk over.
See that the brother gets this.
We're not going to disrespect nobody.
And we done. Brother, listen. He's not going to continue to come up in here and disrespect me. You understand? And I find it ironic that you can come and stand for him, but you can't stand for your children as black folks and black babies dying in the streets of this city. Let's be clear here.
All right, she got your
This actions is not African.
She got it.
Now,
Get the baby.
get the baby. Get the future. He want to talk about everything except what little boys do with erect penises in the dark.
And that's true. You guys, the older videos.
You got to come Jerry Sandusky clean, brother. I'm done. My name is Queen Sister.
All right. There's so many other examples. In fact, it came to mind. Someone that said, "Yeah, I know." I told people these men that defend Umar like this, it's a shame. It's a shame. See, obviously Umar owes her money. He was scared. He saw her too. You see how he started doing like this? Marshmallow. It reminds me of when, remember that one lady, I think it was in Atlanta, when she ran towards the stage and threw a purse at Umar, or at least tried to. It went up in the air. You remember that? And then after that, you've seen how they did that lady. I mean, they was just handling, like real rough handling her. In fact, knocked her to the ground and everything. I should pull that up right now, but I can't even remember what the video was called right now. I have it, but that's another example of these types of antics that take place with Umar. No, if someone has an issue with Umar, they should be able to speak to Umar, and if they're at a function, they should be able to voice their issue, and Umar should be able to work through that issue. And if it means that he has to do that in front of everyone, he should do it in front of everyone. It's really that simple. See? But what Umar tends to do is that he allows his followers or defenders to do his dirty work, which is usually to try to silence the black women who come out to speak about Umar. See? And historically speaking, it tends to be black women that do that. And it's a shame because we black men, we should be on the front lines when it comes to speaking about Umar and calling him out for what he's been doing and what he continues to do to this day. See? Thanks, Robbie, for the super chat. Sigma says, has this ninja ever paid King Randall back? No, he never. I highly doubt he paid King Randall back. And this is another example of Umar and why people have to speak out about Umar. People understand that King Randall was a defender of Umar for a while because he did a video, and I know he was talking about me. He did a video, and he wasn't being disrespectful, but he said something to the effect, and I'm paraphrasing, and I wish people would stop talking about Umar, you know, and specifically talking about this whole FDMG school scam. Okay, obviously I'm still talking about it. But see, King Randall came to the realization at a certain point because last year Umar scammed him out of, I can't remember the amount. I want to say $2,000, $2,600. It might have been $3,200. I just can't remember what the figure was. Anyone could chat. If you remember, please post out the chat room. I appreciate it. But he has the receipts and he showed the receipts. King Randall showed the receipts. And Umar, he committed to coming to speak at King Randall's school that he has for the boys. And King Randall sent him a deposit and paid for a flight and all this other stuff. And Umar didn't show up. And so when King Randall decides, I think he paid for the flight, but King Randall, I would have to go back and look at the receipts. But King Randall reached out to Umar to get the money back. And Umar would not return the money. It's another example right there. So yeah, I will keep speaking about Umar. But see, I was speaking about Umar prior to King Randall trying to do business with Umar to have him come speak at his school. See? So this is what I mean by at some point people are going to wake up. King Randall, I know he knows the truth now, but I was telling the truth about Umar a long time ago, way before this situation happened with King Randall and Umar. But see, either way, this is another reason why it's important to talk about Umar, because there's other people that could fall victim to Umar Johnson's scamming ways. He's all about the money. He's all about sexual exploitation of black women. And if he can get a deposit in advance, he won't show up. He's done this before. He did this in Canada. I have receipts on that. I actually interviewed the organization that had called Umar out to speak. They paid him a deposit. He didn't show up. They had to get Irritated Genie to take his place. And then when they asked Umar to return the money, he wouldn't return the money. And you see this lady, the lady that we were talking about before, there's something that was going on dealing with money. She's, you know, if you guys listen to what she was saying.
Because brother, excuse me. Wait.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, because brother. Oh, he seen me. You got some explaining to do. Some apologies to make and some debts to pay. Brother.
Hold on, I got you, man. I got you.
Yeah, I got me.
All right. Let's go back to the video that I put up in the beginning. We'll finish this one.
And my answer was simply,
when you are in the media, people will find a way to discredit you. So please don't listen to everything that you hear. But sometimes there's no smoke without fire. So I had to just say to him, I do not know about what you're talking about, and what he hears, he does not know it's a guaranteed fact neither. But I'm just about to bring that to you. Okay? Thank you.
See how they're getting her off and him crowding her like that? Someone sent me information about this guy right here. They gave me his information and the organization that he's associated with. Okay, I haven't dug into it. I don't even plan on doing it. But just the fact that you have black men doing black women like this. So if anything, you should be standing next to her so that she can get her concerns answered. And you give her the platform to speak. And I said this yesterday. If Umar was up there talking about crushing cookies and you know, he also said and cookies is a euphemism for vagina. He's always talking sex, explicit sex talk. He's just way out of control. And he's talking about the colorism where he's classifying cookies, which are euphemism for vagina. He's up there on stage classifying vaginas, black women's vaginas based on color. So he'll say hot fudge. He'll say warm salt. He'll say pina. He loves saying pina colada. He'll say pina colada. He always says pina colada. He'll say warm. He'll say warm salt. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It's just freak off type of talk. These same black men who will do their best to silence these black women from speaking out, they'll sit there and they'll let Umar talk like that about the same black women that they're supposed to be down with. That's what I'm saying. This whole black consciousness, it's a bunch of bullshit. It is. It's really a bunch of bullshit. And I'm not saying that everyone who's in it is like this, but From what I've seen, it is overwhelmingly, I'm going to say it's a bunch of bullshit. It's just another hustle. And you put on the dashikis or you put on the RBG flag or whatever, and you all of a sudden, all of it, it's just like, it's so irrelevant. Are you in a loving, committed relationship with the Black woman? Are you raising your children? See, Umar's not doing any of this. Are you respecting Black women? Are you defending Black women? Umar's not doing any of this. So these Black men, all this stuff, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I really don't. Y'all part of the problem. Umar's the problem, but y'all part of the problem too. Anyway. Yesterday, I also gave examples of Umar in terms of, and it is a form of hatred because it's sexual exploitation of him filming the body parts of women. And I gave an example of Umar when he was at a slave dungeon.
There are pies connected to the roof. Though the pies over there are not the original. Stayed longer than they had to bath.
There you go, right there.
Mistresses and state houses in town kept those. Became the first alleged women over there. The here, the Susan,
here go right.
Diana, Vroom, Van Dyke, Vandermoy, Smith, Ferguson, Jackson, Young.
Oh, this is it right here.
Van Dyke, Vandermoy, Smith, Ferguson, Jackson, Youngson, Blackson, and all.
There's quite a few of these videos where he's at slave dungeons, and there are times where he actually he'll do like libations. He'll have someone hold his phone. But at this point, Umar's holding phone. Watch this.
Mark Simpson.
All the Simpsons memes.
See?
Oh, I like his incorporation.
See him? He does this all the time. He's done this to little girls too. See, he won't focus on the tour guide. He'll focus on their body parts, the Black women's body parts. Just another example. And she sees them doing this, and she's uncomfortable. Now she's backing up, and it's just sad. Umar does this all the time.
They used to.
And again, there's quite a few of these videos. There's times where he's actually taken, if memory serves me correctly, where he's taken a group of African Americans or Black people in the United States of America over to Africa to go to these slave dungeons. And he's doing most of the talking, but in this case, he's like there's a tour guide. In the case where he's kind of giving the tour, there'll be someone who's holding his phone and they'll be recording him. But in this case, there are times where there's someone holding the phone and recording Umar, but in this case, this is actually Umar holding the phone. And if you notice, he's not actually focusing on the tour guide. He's done this too with the college tours with the little teenage children, in particular little girls. He was doing the same thing. He was focusing on their body parts instead of focusing on the tour guide. This is Umar. He does this. And if anyone says, well, this is a coincidence, listen, I can pull up at least as an estimate, a safe estimate. I can pull up at least 30 examples of Umar doing this. Okay, so I don't want to hear people say, no, it's not what. No, here's another example right here.
Around because they're gonna say I'm looking at the queen's shapely figure. So let me turn this around.
No, that's what you were doing. That's called reverse psychology. I'll explore that in the documentary too. He does that. It's like when he tells he'll have a talking before he starts talking, or after. He sometimes does it after, but it's usually before. He'll say, listen, this is my cell phone number. If anyone needs to contact me, here's my number. And women, when we talk to the Black women, don't send me no nude pictures or nothing like that, because this ain't that type of party. Why are you saying that? But that's because that's what's on his mind, and it's reverse psychology. He wants them to send, he wants them to send that type of stuff. There have been times he's live streaming and he's receiving these types of lewd photos. I mean, it could be a dude sending him. Ain't no telling. You know, it could just be catfishing them. You know, but he'll see it and he'll be online. Anyone seen this? Hit the one. So that's called reverse psychology. And but watch this though. He sure did, Jonathan Kidd. And not only did he tell on himself. Watch what he does, and he thinks it's funny.
Let me turn this around because they're gonna say I'm looking at the queen's shapely figure. So let me turn this around. You know they like picking with me. Black Power, this is the Prince of Pan-Africanism. We live in direct Louisville, Kentucky, R.I.P. Breonna Teller, and Muhammad Ali. We here at the Rooftop Grill, 414 Oak Street. Come through. Dr. Umar's here with the new book, Black Parent Advocate, and we got some local talent in the building. We're about to drop the Louisville Cipher one time. So this is what I want you to do, King. Introduce yourself one time to the people.
Yo, it's your boy D-Twist, aka the #1 motherfucking Zoku in this motherfucker. Welcome to the new.
Now I'm gonna need you to stop dropping them bombs. We got the princess in the building.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, consciousness or nonsense, man. What's this win? Food since our first life, spiritual resident. In the ribbon,
Let's go. You got a couple of fans on here, Queen. They said, who that with the tight black jeans on?
See? I have so many examples of this type of behavior with Umar. Let's get to levels of disrespect now. I want to pull up a couple of things. Many of you guys are familiar with this one. Is this it right here? Let me see. Yeah, I think this is it. Okay, let me skip to it. Okay, some of you guys are familiar with this. Umar, he's so disrespectful, and this is an excellent example of it. He wasn't the keynote speaker, but what Umar tends to do, at least at a certain point, because before he used to have people calling him out for everything, but I'm talking about to have him come out to speak. But at a certain point, all that started to wind down. One of the reasons why I winded down, what I mean by that it decreased, was because Umar, he had a habit of trying to get at women at these organizations, these black conscious organizations. What I mean by get at it was that he was trying to figure out a way to have sex with them. And what ended up happening is, as he did this, more and more people found out about it. There were brothers that would check him on that, and they wouldn't call him back. But then word started to spread around in terms of the so-called black conscious community that that's what he was doing. And that's why when the SETI called him out, General SETI called him out on that, Umar, he lost it. He went nuts. See, because Umar doesn't want people to know that about him. But he has a history of seeking to sexually exploit the women that are part of these organizations. It could be women who are putting the event together that are calling him to come. It could be women who are helping. It could be the hostesses. He always talks about the hostesses. The women that come and pick him up from the airport or to drive him around. Sometimes it's men, but he would prefer the women, of course, because then it gains him access to putting him in a position to sexually exploit them. And then it could be women who are actually at the event. See, and he would target specific women at the event. Someone could be in relationships already. Someone could be married. So word spread, and that began to condense the amount of speaking engagements that Umar was receiving because his reputation began to precede him. This makes sense for people. So oftentimes at a certain point, Umar, he would post that he's going to be speaking somewhere, but he's really not. No videos ever surfaced. There's no flyers for it. There's none of that stuff. He doesn't even put an address, but he would fill in his calendar to make it seem like he was the most requested. Okay. Another thing that he would do is that if there was an event that was taking place and someone would say, yeah, we have an event in our city to deal with this topic or that topic, Umar, the event organizers wouldn't be in contact with Umar. It could be like a vendor at the actual event. They would contact Umar, maybe they're Umar Johnson fan or follower, and they would say, yeah, come on through, and then I'll see if I can get you. Because Umar, he likes to get onto the microphone. And in some cases, Umar said, yeah, can you see if I can speak? And so what would end up happening is they would finagle the situation to where they can get Umar on. They'll lobby for him. He's not a headliner. He's not the keynote. He's not even on the agenda as a speaker, but he will promote it as such. And then Umar will come to the venue, and they'll give him like a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, maybe 10, but he always goes overtime. And he keeps running his mouth and running his mouth. One time he did that, and he literally lost his voice because he was yelling and screaming and acting like a fool. Okay. So I want to give you guys an example because it illustrates his level of disrespect, not only of black women, but of black women who are elders. Okay, check this one out. And again, Umar, he keeps talking and keeps going. He actually is talking for a very long time, and they keep trying to get him off of the stage. And then finally, Queen Mother comes up there, and you'll see the interaction. Watch this.
That you did. What I'm saying is post-traumatic slavery disease takes on a million different forms, and we have to diagnose the mental illness in the black.
By the way, Umar's a plagiarist, and I'm going to outline this in the documentary. He says he calls it the post-traumatic slavery disease. But he sources that's actually a book that was written by Dr. DeGruy, and it was called, let me just pull this up. I always forget what the name of the book is. The actual, I don't know the name of it, but I get it. Dr. DeGruy, it's called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. See, But what Umar does is he takes the same concept in which she has a whole book, and she's kind of built a career off of. And it's not her whole career because she's actually a professor and stuff, but it's contributed heavily to her career and acknowledgement for that work. It's theoretical, but it's still significant. And the point is that her book and her theory is the post-traumatic slave syndrome. Umar takes it and he repeats it, the whole idea of it, but he acts as if it's his own, and he just simply changes the name. He's a plagiarist. See? Watch this.
Disease takes on a million passed down, and now the daughter is jealous of the granddaughter. You love her, but you also envy the fact that she was able to live a better life than you did. What I'm saying is post-traumatic slavery disease takes on.
He calls it post-traumatic slavery disease, but the book by Joy DeGruy, Dr. Joy DeGruy, is post-traumatic slave syndrome, and it's from 2005. That's disrespectful too. Disrespectful of Black women, and see, it also goes to show you that in terms of being a scholar, he will take other people. A lot of his stuff comes from Juana Kunjufu from back in the day. I hope I'm saying his name right. Even Umar's idea of the miseducation of Black boys. Okay, that comes out of some work. The work, there was 2 books. I can't remember what they were called exactly, but the something to destroy Black boys. That's just Umar sourcing Dr. Kunjufu's work. And then also there was Dr. Amos Wilson. See, Umar does, the way you can tell is that when Umar can speak about a topic and it kind of makes sense, but you know that it's sourced from someone else, that's when you know that he's plagiarized. But when he comes up with his own ideas and concepts, you listen, you're like, him, that don't even make no damn sense. Okay, that's because that's Umar. I don't mean to laugh. So this is another example of the plagiarism right here, but that's not what we're going to get to. Check this out.
A million different forms, and we have to diagnose the mental illness in the Black family and the mental illness in the Black community. Because if we don't treat the self-hate that exists amongst us as African people, we will never liberate ourselves from emotional and spiritual slavery.
What's up, information man?
I want to close
Jesus Christ
with 2 more points. Point number 1. Homework is becoming an endangered species.
Yeah. Thank you,
in
Seth.
the Black House.
Yeah, thank you, and everyone who could said thank you guys. When you guys correct me, I appreciate it. I wish I could have, because this book I read that when I was in. That was back in 19. That's how you know you're getting old. You start going like this. That was back in 1994 when I read that. But a lot of Umar's content comes from that. There's older videos of Dr. Kunjufu speaking. And you can tell Umar, when he's dressed in 3-piece suits, even his cadence, he was mimicking this author of Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. So Umar, he's a great deceiver. He's a plagiarist, and he morphs. He will become Dr. Juana Kunjufu. He will become Joy DeGruy. He will become, I hope I'm saying her name right. I apologize. No disrespect. He will become Amos Wilson, Dr. Amos Wilson. He will become Frederick Douglass. He has an identity crisis. I'll talk about that in the documentary. He will be, and by the way, members, I'm not going to have the next part ready by Friday for you guys by Friday. I have to actually go. I got to go through my files and reorganize stuff significantly because the scope of this is way more massive than I thought. But I'll have some content up for you guys tomorrow. Okay, for you members. Anyway, Umar will become Frederick Douglass. He will become Marcus Garvey. See? He does that all the time. Okay, he doesn't want to be Jermaine Shoemake. Okay, so anytime people, when you provide that, I appreciate it. Thank you, Seth. The book was called Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys, and there's 2 of them. I remember there was a part 1 and a part 2, something like that. Okay, yeah, if y'all can hit the like button, I would appreciate it. How's it going, Aya Jojo? Thank you for being here. All right, so let me skip through this just because I want to see where the sister comes on, the Queen Mother, because I don't want to have to sit here and watch all of this. I got some other stuff we want to get to. Yeah, okay, here we go right here. Okay, and then Sigma said Umar is almost like a Decepticon. He sparks, his spark needs to be removed, deactivated, and put in storage, maybe even melted down for scrap. Yeah, he is. Yeah, that was my favorite cartoon growing up was Transformers, the Decepticons, the Autobots, Optimus Prime. This thing I liked about Optimus Prime was he had honor. You know, he always was fair. I know it sounds weird, but I kind of modeled myself. Even back then, I was like, okay, I always want to be fair. I want to, you know, I wish I could transform. Anyway, that and Thundercats and G.I. Joe, those are my three. Those other ones too, but there's a lot that I learned from the interactions between the Autobots and Decepticons. And Umar, he's a great deceiver. He's like a Decepticon. He really is. Umar will become what he needs to be to exploit people. He will flip into a different mode, as it were. He will transform into what he needs to be in order to manipulate people, to exploit them financially or sexually, which ties to the topic for today is hatred for women. See, I want to be clear about this. A deceptive man may say that I love women or I love black women, but if he's out here running through them, and that's a term means that he's sexually exploiting them and he's going on to the next, he sexually exploits that when he goes on to the next, then he goes on to the next and he goes on. That's what we used to call he's running through them. If he's doing that doesn't show a level of respect for black women. It doesn't show a level of love for them or care for them either. But for whatever reason, and I know I shouldn't say this, but for whatever reason, there are aspects of black culture, and it's not for all of us, but for some people, because black culture is not one thing, but there are aspects in certain demographics of black culture wherein black men who sexually exploit black women in this way, somehow they're seen as some sort of a hero archetype. There was an old phrase that people used to say, like, if a woman does that and they sleeping around and just, you know, have sex with whoever they can, whenever they can, they're a hoe. But if a black man does it, he's a hero. See, Umar, he's a Decepticon. He's a deceiver, and he will deceive, and he will tell you black women that he cares for you. He ain't gonna say he loves you. I've only heard him say love a handful of times, which is crazy. I tell y'all I love y'all before we get up off here. I try to every time. Sometimes I forget. I apologize. But Umar, he's a great deceiver. He will tell you black women that he respects you, that he loves you. He will tell you black men that you need to respect black women and you need to marry them. And Umar's not married. He has no respect, and he's a Decepticon. That's exactly what he is. Okay? I mean, if he transformed, he probably, I don't know what he would transform into. Probably a bomb. I'm sorry. Stephen, don't get me going. Umar transformed into a bomb. I'm just playing. I should do that. All right. So sometimes, okay, let me keep going. Thanks, Sigmund. Sigmund also said that clip, they should have had golden voice security at the event. He would have been thrown into the crowd and security would have, I think you're saying roughly escorted him out the venue. May need some medical attention. Yeah, Sigmund made a point too before, because I can't remember what video it was. Oh, it was the video where Umar was saying something like he was going to bum rush the stage for, I can't remember what it was exactly, but he said he was going to go take the microphone and he was going to do his thing. And Sigmund made an important point that if under normal circumstances, if someone does that, security is going to be up on them and it's not going to be pretty. See, meaning taking the microphone, it's not going to be pretty. But Umar, in his delusional mind, he thinks that everyone wants to hear him speak. Every event is his event. I remember one time he got mad because when he's taking people over to Africa and he was going off about all these problems and all the black people that went, some of the black people that were being disrespectful to him. And he says, how are you going to try to tell me what I need to do on my plane? I said, wait a minute, what are you talking about? This is my trip to Africa. This is my plane. This is my tour. If you want to tell me what to do, he was going off. But Umar has this sense of entitlement where he thinks he owns everything and he owns everyone, including the stage and including the microphone. And the microphone is really what Umar tries to get to, because that's his means of exploitation. See, he used the microphone and the amplification to reach more people. And I mean, this is how this works. And so it can reach more black women to sexually exploit you, to get you to donate for a school that does not exist. Sigmund, can you believe this? All these years, there's still no functional school. Also notice this, and I don't mean to go off on this or get sidetracked, but you guys notice Umar's not talking about FDMG right now. Because it's cold. It's getting cold over there. And winter is coming. And this happens every single year. It goes to show you he has no intention of opening up a school. This also goes to show levels of disrespect towards black women too, because his main supporters and the main people who send him money are black women, because they want to have their sons in this fake, phony school. But Umar, he basically, when it starts to cool down, he ain't doing nothing up there. He just goes up there to beg for money. But outside of that, he ain't doing nothing up there. Every single year for the last 5 years and 9 months, it's almost 10 months, 9 months, Umar does the same thing. Actually, is it 9? Yeah, it's 9 months. Okay, almost 9 months. Okay, I always want to be clear on the timeline. Okay, but anyway, this is an important point because Umar, he thinks that he owns the stage. He thinks that he owns the microphone, and he said things at certain points that I've in my research where he's going to just go up there and take the microphone and do his thing. But no, it doesn't work like that. Security will come and get you. And Sigmund, what's happening in this video? For those of you who haven't seen this video, Umar's been up there a lot longer than he's supposed to because he wasn't scheduled to be up there. They gave him a little bit of time, but he keeps running his mouth and keep running his mouth. And people approach him to try to get him off of the stage a couple of times until the Queen Mother comes up. And then that's the interaction that you're going to see. And you'll see how disrespectful Umar is. Okay. Thanks, Tim, for the super chat. Hope you're doing all right. Okay. Thank you so much. It looks like God's little prince has been handling business. But see, this is good because whenever it gets like this with people coming in, it just goes to show you that the reach it's reaching new people. And that's part of it. You know, I mean, I've been at this for long enough. I know how all this goes. There's ebbs and flows. There's ups and downs with the Umar content. And because Umar's not live streaming, I actually think right now he's banned or he's on what is the term? On Instagram. I think he's it's not banned. I think he's been suspended because he hasn't been able to live stream in a while. See, and so when that happens, Umar Johnson, the views go down. But once he starts getting back up there and running his mouth, and then especially when he's talking about the school, it's a catch-22 for Umar. That's when more and more people start talking about, especially with the school. But what I'm doing here is I want to start to outline the disrespect of Black women because this is a major component to Umar Johnson, and there's a lot of lessons that we all can learn from this type of behavior. It's something that definitely needs to be corrected. Okay. All right, so let's get back to this video. I went to the timestamp where right before the Queen Mother comes up. But this lady right here in this black shirt, 1865, she was trying to get Umar off too.
It's bad enough that you have been sexualized through slavery and beyond. Don't pass down the trauma to the next generation. My code at 5, 6, 7, and 8. Black parents, I'm blaming you, not your child. As a child is taught, so are his thoughts. We must do a better job. Black mothers, stop sexualizing our girls with the dress code.
See? Look who's talking, Umar. I can pull up the video. I can't do it. I could, but I can't. But I can pull up the video where you were filming little girls' body parts, just like you were doing on that plane. So what are you talking about? But Umar talks like this because he tries to use the excuse in terms of Black women and how you dress. That's the reason why, you know, your Black men are coming at you a certain type of way. Or if you're SA'd, it's because of how you dress. He's made statements like that in the past. See? But out of all people, look who's talking. Pervert number one. All he do is sexualize Black women. And little girls too. I have videos where he says some crazy shit on these videos, these older videos, where especially he starts talking about the college tours that he's going to do, and how he said, I don't want to have the girls yet. I just the boys because I'm not ready for that energy. And then he starts to explain how these little girls, they're going to be twerking inside the boys' room at the nighttime and all this kind of freak off type of shit. Why are you talking like that about these little girls? That's sexualizing Black girls. And these little girls, they're not in high school. They're young. I mean, I would think they're probably 8th, 9th grade, something like that. And Umar talking like that. Anyway, look who's talking out of all people.
At 5, 6, 7, and 8 years old. It is not acceptable. Don't sexualize Black girls. It's bad enough that you have been sexualized through slavery and beyond. Don't pass down the trauma to the next generation. My last point.
Mm-hmm. He's such a goofy. Yeah, you're right. FDMG people. I have that in the first document where Umar Johnson refers. He creates this scenario in his mind of these little girls, and they're trying to a little girl. She's trying to get to have sex with the little boy or whatever, because it's really. But he says something like, take these rotten cookies. And what he's talking about is that's what the little girl would say to the little boy, because the little girl's going to be fast at his school. Some stupid shit like that. He said, she gonna jump on his back. Take these rotten cookies. What the fuck is, I'm sorry. What are you talking about? Talking about little girls. And then he says rotten cookies. Well, so what that means is cookies is a euphemism for vagina. So he's saying that the little girl's cookie, that her vagina is rotten. What kind of man talks like that? That's what Umar said. Is that sexualizing black girls? Yeah, that's sexualizing black girls. What's up, Hassa? Yeah. Yeah, he is. He is a pervert. And I have so many examples of this that I've run into the older videos dealing with Umar. I actually think something wrong with him up here. I really do. I think something wrong with him because that's not normal for any person to be talking like that. It's just not.
My last point. Brothers and sisters, when I'm done talking up here, I'm going back to my booth. It's on my left-hand side. It's on your right-hand side. It is about 2 booths after the House of Africa, this side of the street. If you're interested in getting a copy of my new book, Black Parent Advocate, I have them for sale, credit card, cash, or Cash App. It is the only book in print that teaches you how to save your child from special.
See, this is her event. The sister in the green, she actually asked, what's his name? She don't even know who Umar is.
Ed abuse and ADHD abuse. Let me give you my phone number, and I want to leave with a quote. Take your phone out.
You see, she says, what is his name? Listen to this.
With a quote. Take your phone out if you are a parent. So
this is her event. She don't even know who Umar is. You know what I'm saying? He just be bum rushing to stage. Sigma said, I used to work for Golden Boys. There were plenty of injuries which needed medical attention. I was rough. He would never think of grabbing the mic. Yeah. I mean, people, they can get you can get yourself, not only get yourself hurt, you can get yourself locked up too. See? But Umar, the Decepticon that he is, he will promote this as if this is an event and they call him out and he's the headliner. He's the keynote. And he'll say that he's such a Decepticon. He really is. I mean, who does that? They'll show up at an event. Same thing with down in I think it was in Florida with Brendan Deppel. He did the same thing with that, just clout chasing. But again, Umar thinks that he's the most requested, but he begs for events all the time. But he's the most requested, so he feels entitled. He can go to any event and he can just go and take the microphone, and he's entitled to that for some reason. But in the real world, if he did that, just bum rush the stage and took the microphone, and there would be security, and they would swoop him up real quick, and yeah, he could get hurt. He can go to jail for it too, depending on how bad the situation is. See, but Umar, he don't think like that. His whole thing is that he has to have the microphone. He has to have the attention. It's the histrionics and the narcissism. He has to be on the stage. See, because if he's not on the stage and he doesn't have the microphone, then no one can listen to him. And if no one's listening to him, then he has to go right back home to his mama's closet. And well, I tell you, that's a set. Well, anyway, thanks, Asim, for the super chat. Yeah, Umar, he's really interesting. He feels entitled to the microphone. But watch what he does to this elder right here.
You can reach me if you need me. I will give you my phone number 3 times. Twice for the regular ed parents and once for the special ed parents. 215-989-9858. I repeat, 215-989-9858. Once more, 215-989-9858. If you need a personal consultation for me to go over your child's IEP, go over your child's behavior plan, go over your child's intervention program, go over your child's psychological evaluation report, you can text me on that number and we will schedule.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So much. No. We all finished here today.
We finished today.
We are going to thank Dr.
Queen Mother, I got to give my quote from Frederick Douglass.
Go right ahead with Frederick Douglass. I'm sure that he would love to be quoted.
All right.
Thank you so much. Go right ahead.
All right. Don't disrespect me, Queen Mother.
No disrespect. All right? No disrespect.
Don't do that now, because I respect you as an elder.
We're calling on the ancestors to be here with us today.
Let's be respectful.
Go right ahead.
Frederick Douglass said, if there is no struggle, there is no...
Notice how he's directing all of this towards her. See, Umar does not like to be challenged, and in particular, he does not like to be challenged by Black women. That's why these Umar Johnson defenders and apologists in the Black conscious space, they will try to silence Black women when they speak out about Umar. But in this case, it's her event, and Umar, she don't even know who he is. And he keeps talking and talking and talking, and she's trying to get him off the stage. But look at how he directs all of this towards her. He's not even talking towards the audience. Watch what happens.
Progress. Those who profess the faith of deprecation, but are afraid of the crops, are like people who want to eat, but they don't want to grow their own food. Frederick Douglass said, for 20 years, I prayed on my knees to God for freedom. But the good Lord gave me no freedom until I got up off my knees.
Yeah, she ain't backing down either. See, this is an elder. She ain't playing no games with this clown.
Start praying with my feet. Frederick Douglass said, if you want respect from white folks, don't look for pity, because the man who pities you will never respect you. And the man who respects you has no need for pity. Frederick Douglass said,
go ahead, Frederick Douglass.
If Black people want to be free, then we ourselves must strike the first blow. He said we may have to pay for that freedom, Queen Mother, with our blood, with our sweat, with our struggle, and with our work. But he said the greatest threat to the independence of Black people is Negroes who want to take money from white folks instead of paying for their own future.
Hallelujah.
Black power.
Black power. We want to thank Dr. Johnson for being here with us today, for bringing on the...
See look how Umar, he just runs off the stage because he's upset. He's like a big old baby throwing a little tantrum. Look.
Ancestors. And we certainly thank the House of Africa for bringing on Dr. Johnson.
See, it's the House of Africa. That's not their event. It's her event. It's probably a vendor, House of Africa. And they got him up on stage. He's not supposed to be on there. She checked him, and he runs off the stage like the bitch that he is. And I said it. She didn't back down. That's another reason why I talk about Umar. See, Black women shouldn't have to do it. That's supposed to be our role. That's supposed to be our responsibility as Black men, to call out this type of foolishness. See, and Umar, when he's talking to her, he's directing everything at her and he's raising his voice. It's a sign of disrespect and intimidation. And he does that with the Black women. He'll start yelling. Look. Watch this.
What my son said to me.
That's powerful. I got a question. When did I get a third baby mom and a third baby? When did I get a third baby mom and a third?
See? No, I'm not mad. I'm just saying it's the way we used to say it. He's a bitch. That's all it is. I probably shouldn't be saying it, but it's the truth. All this alpha male talk and blah, 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 blah. See, Umar wouldn't have done that if it was a brother up there who, who was, I mean, it wouldn't even matter. If it was, he had to just be a real man. He ain't got to be 6'5" and none of that shit. Just a real man. Umar wouldn't have done that. But he'll do it to you Black women because he has no respect and he feels as if he can dominate and intimidate you. See, that's Umar. So-called alpha male living in the mama closet. All right, so that's another example. How are we doing on time? Let's go for another 22 minutes, okay? I got plenty of other stuff to get into, just giving example after example of Umar's disrespect of Black women. Let's go to, many of you guys have seen this one, but I think it'd be apropos to pull this one up and kind of, and I'll have to skip through because I didn't have time to actually get to the timestamp, but I'll skip through to find the segment that I wanted to get to. Here's this video right here.
Need allies in this work together to protect your child or their child that they can use to suspend a special ed child. Black person in this world male or female, now, and you go downtown and you tell them the principal is breaking the law.
This guy
question,
crazy.
I think the question is very obvious if you know me and you know them. I'm going to let you meditate on that question because I think the answer is very obvious if you know me and you know them. Shout out to the live alkaline water. Get your live alkaline water. Get your live alkaline water.
How's it going, ladies? Thank y'all so much for tuning all in.
Get your live alkaline water.
Gamers and Drink. What's up, Gamers and Drink?
Water,
he backed down to the cops when he got pulled over. He sure did. Listen, if you guys think of examples, let me know. I'll pull them up. Okay, we got about 22 more minutes. I can pull it up. As a matter of fact, Games to Drink, I'm going to go pull that one up. I'll be right back. Boss. Sniffing and snorting.
I pulled up at about 11:30 last night. I don't know how this got in my hotel room. I don't know how this got in my hotel room because I know I didn't stop at McDonald's. I don't know how this got in my hotel room because I know I didn't stop at McDonald's.
This is out beyond the scope, but I just want to just use this as an example because Sigmund talked about how Umar's a Decepticon. This is another example right here. See, Umar, instead of him saying I went and got McDonald's, he has to. I don't get it. He didn't have to show it, but instead of just saying I went to go get McDonald's, he creates this whole fake, false narrative about it. He's a habitual liar, and it's so unnecessary. See, he's also pathological liar, but there's a different pathological liars. They'll lie to spin a narrative, there's a pathological liar, and then there is I just forgot what it's called. Pathological and a habitual. Habitual, they will lie for no good reason. Like there's no reason to even lie. They're not even trying to paint a false narrative. They just lie because they lie. But he does both. Okay. But in this case, I guess we can argue that it is a pathological liar because he's trying to paint a narrative, and that is that he eats healthy. That's really what this is. But there's no need for this. But I just want to show this as an example. Watch how Umar spins this story. It goes to show you that he will lie for no good reason. It's totally unnecessary, just like he's been lying about this FDMG school scam. He's lied about, how he, he's there to help black women. No, he's there to sexually exploit you. And that's why he disrespects you at every single turn. It doesn't matter if you're an older woman, if you're a younger woman, if you're middle-aged, it doesn't matter. Okay. But watch what Umar does this right here. It's crazy.
Brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, I have no recollection of stopping at McDonald's. I don't know how this got in my room. Somebody put this in my room last night. It wasn't me. Somebody put this, my vegan Africans. My vegan Africans, my vegetarian Africans. I did not stop at the McDonald's last night. I didn't. I don't know how this got in my room. Somebody trying to set me up. I did not stop at McDonald's. They trying to set me up. I need you to understand, overstand, and understand me. I need you to understand, overstand, and understand me. I did not stop at McDonald's. I didn't. I did not do that. I'm working on my diet. Maybe I was sleepwalking last night. I might have was sleepwalking last night. I might have sleptwalked last night. And I might, in my sleepwalking, I might have went through the drive-thru without being conscious. I might have went through the drive-thru while I was sleepwalking, and I might have got me a fish fillet. I might have got me a fish fillet.
How do you so, what does that mean? I might have. No, you had a fish fillet and some fries. Listen, Umar, it's okay. You don't have to create this false narrative and this whole, because he wants to present himself like he's conscious, a conscious eater and all this stuff. Umar is not, okay? And it's really not that big of a deal. Okay, I'm vegan, but I don't even tell people. I rarely even talk about that. I really don't care. It's a lifestyle. I was a vegetarian, became a vegetarian, when I was 19? And I became a vegan, I think probably when I was about 26 or something like that. And I'm old now. Who cares? So what? My kids, they eat whatever they want to. We put them in public school, so they started. So we said, that's okay. Go out and do what you want to. It's no big deal. But because Umar associates that with somehow it makes him a better person or it makes him better than someone else. I don't believe in that shit. I've known vegans. They've done all kind of crazy. I wouldn't even want to be around. I want my kids around or nothing. I know people that eat hog, ham hocks, and everything. So what? And they're good people. But Umar, in his mind, he associates, because it's tied to this whole black consciousness stuff, and we got to eat this way and we got to dress this way. No, all of it's a bunch of bullshit. You ain't even got a wife. You out here running through these black women out here. You don't take care of your kids. So just shut up. I don't want to hear all that. Okay? That's why he's doing this, because he wants to make it appear as if he's eating healthy because he's the Prince of Pan-African. Now he's about to do his 50-day fast, whatever this shit is. Umar, cut it out. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, Barry, I got it already. I already have it lined up for you guys. Just hold on. Turn the heat down, Lenon. Show it possible. Turn the heat down. Okay, I'll pull that one up. But that's not part of the what the thing is, what we talking about. But I'll pull it up for you because it's Jesus Christ. Okay, here we go.
I can't remember. I can't remember. Don't charge it to my head. My heart, charge it to my head. Sometimes I'll be sleepwalking through the hood. If you ever catch King Kong sleepwalking through the hood, I need you to just wake me up a little bit, shake me up. Dr. Umar, you sleepwalking. You sleepwalking right now. I think I might have accidentally was sleepwalking and I walked through the McDonald's drive-thru and got a fish fillet meal because it was 11:30 at night. I was kind of hungry. I was tired, and I might have accidentally had a REM sleep, a deep REM sleep, sleepwalk, and I might have accidentally picked up a fish fillet. Charge it to my head, not my heart, vegetarians. Charge it to my head, not my heart, vegetarians. Charge it to my head, not my heart, my vegan Africans. Okay? I thought I was dreaming, but I might have been sleepwalking because I woke up and this was in the bed with me. I woke up and this was in the bed with me. So let's get back to the message. I'm going to get it out my system with the alkaline. I'm going to flush it out with the alkaline water. I'm going to flush it out with the alkaline water. I'm going to flush.
Yeah, but I thought you just said you didn't eat it. Oh,
flush it out with the alkaline water.
You're such a goofy.
I'm going to flush out the fillet of fish. It was late. I was tired. I was sleepwalking. I had no control over. I was sleepwalking. I'm going to flush it out with the alkaline water.
Yeah, by accident. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Here you go.
Number 3, black parents. Number 3.
All right, let me skip to the part.
Chalk ebook. The 220. That's right. Be consistent with school. We independent. This is Garvey talking. We
see that all the sniffing. This is the withdrawals from turning the heat down.
Independent. So I'm telling all my black mothers now, when you show up to drop your son off at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, stay your ass in the car if you got your pajamas on. Because if you come in my school with your pajamas, I'm a super soaker your ass from head to toe. And I'm going to make sure I mess up your blonde weave. I'm telling you now, this is King Kong.
See the levels of disrespect? He's talking about you black women. He always assumes that all y'all is single too, that you got just you're a baby mama. That's all. He always assumes that. Goofy. Look how goofy he is.
Come to my school with your damn pajamas on, black mother. You just crawled out the bed after getting bent over. And
whoa, what in the world? You see this? He's talking about you black women, the same black women that defend Umar. Y'all been busy lately, because I get it, because I've been talking about this issue. Y'all don't want to deal with the facts. You don't want to deal with the facts. He's talking about you black women. Is this someone who has respect for women? I mean, just women, period. Shit, who talks like this? And does it online for the world to see?
You're going to come out the house straight out the bed with sex crumbs all over your body. You're going to crawl out the bed and come to my school with sex crumbs all over your body. Looking like a damn ghost because all that makeup you wear then ate your natural skin juices up. All that makeup you wear on your face then ate your natural skin juices up. So you look like a damn ghost without makeup with 10 feet long eyelashes. You show up at my school in some pajamas. I'ma grab the super soaker. I'ma grab the super soaker. I'ma grab the super soaker water gun. I'ma grab the super soaker water gun. I'ma aim at your weave, your perm, your blind extensions, and I'ma super soaker your ass from head to toe. Oh yes. Oh yes. FDMG. FDMG is coming, baby.
What kind of this? I mean, I ain't watched this since because we did a didn't we do this one last year for the marathon? I don't know if we're gonna my wife said, yeah, dude, because she wanted me to do a marathon for Thanksgiving so she don't have to cook. She thinks she's slick because last time we ordered a gang of food. I mean, it was we had food left over for like 3 days with all these kids. So she was like, hey, are you gonna do a marathon for Thanksgiving? I said, I don't know. She was like, yeah, because I remember last year we ordered out. I said, okay. So I think we did this one for the marathon. I would like to do one. You guys let me know if you guys want to. Last year, that was wild. We broke records last year. That was the longest live stream we ever did. Anyway, who talks like this? It just goes to show you. And see, I want to explain something. Part of the issue too is that I don't even know if I should say this. Let me see if I can articulate this. If I put a line down the middle of the screen, like right here, there's 3 aspects of Umar. Okay, right here down the middle, this is Umar when he's in his right mind. Okay, he's still crazy. He still says crazy shit. He's still homeless, and when he can't stay with his mom, he stays inside his mama's closet in his Section 8 housing. That's a fact. Okay, I have the receipts on that. Sigmund knows this too. We've been talking about this on the through email. He knows it. Some of you guys know it too if you're a member. But if we put a line right here, there's Umar, and this is kind of like the baseline Umar. He's still a disturbed individual. Okay, he still sexually exploits Black women. He still has disrespect for Black women. He still thinks that he's Marcus Garvey. He thinks that he's Frederick Douglass. He has an identity crisis. He still talks crazy sex talk like this and calling you Black women out your name and calling you, talking about your cookies and crushing cookies and, all this type of stuff. But then there's also this side over here, and then there's this side over here. This side over here is Umar when he's high. Okay. He goes nuts. He can still go nuts here too, but when he's high, this is when he be just talking all kinds. He be saying some of the most outlandish, crazy shit. You're like, what is he talking about? Okay, but don't get it twisted. Umar being high, though it's not the baseline, it's also significant to recognize that over here on this extreme is Umar when he's having withdrawal symptoms, and when he's having withdrawal symptoms, he's very agitated. He starts scratching and shit. If he's challenged when he's like that, he will go nuts. He'll go ballistics. See, Umar down here in the middle, he'll have more composure. Umar, when he's high, sometimes he can kind of deal with those levels of stress because he's high. You know what I'm saying? But when Umar's in this mode of withdrawal, this is when he tends he'll start that nasal drip will start taking place. He'll sniff all the time. And that's the withdrawal symptoms. And that's when he's very agitated. And if any of you guys, if you've been around drug addicts, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I grew up in a household where it was all that, plus the alcoholism and so forth. So I know exactly what I'm talking about. But when these drug addicts, when they have the withdrawal symptoms, they can be very agitated, and they get agitated very easily. And that's when they will go off. But really what they're looking for is to get back over to here. You guys understand? I hope I'm articulating this in a way that it makes sense. So I want people to understand that there are videos, and I didn't really come to understand this until more recently as I've done research into Umar from the older videos, and you can start to see these patterns emerge. There are times where Umar is kind of like down the middle, okay? But there's also times where Umar, he's on one extreme where he's high, and then there's also this other extreme where he's in withdrawals, and sometimes it gets really, really bad, and that's when he really needs money. He'll go up to the trap banner, and he'll say, get on your CashApp, get on your PayPal, get on your CashApp, get on your PayPal. And you can tell he's desperate. He's really desperate, but that's because he wants to get back onto this side. Okay, I hope I'm articulating this way for people to understand. Okay, so the reason I'm bringing this up is if you look at this video in particular, this is Umar in a stage where he's having withdrawal symptoms. And that's why he's reacting and behaving like this. It's still crazy. He's still crazy down the middle. He's still crazy when he's high, but he starts to say some really outlandish, and he becomes very agitated and very disrespectful towards you black women when he's on that side of the spectrum, if you guys understand what I'm saying. And that's what we're seeing inside this video. See, it's exactly what we're seeing inside of this video. Yeah. How's it going, House? Hope you're doing all right. Post nasal drip. And now, okay, I'm not going to throw out what it is. I know I said that in the past, but I've taken a step back from that just out of, I don't even know if it's compassion. Okay, I think Umar has multiple issues. I've seen there's videos where he's just popping pills. He just keeps going, and he's live streaming shit. And first he starts off all slow and talking all slow, but then he starts getting amped up. Later on in the video, I said, okay, done kicked in. See? But that drip, you'll see this. And if you guys go back to the older Umar videos, you don't hear that. You don't see that. And there's a certain point, it's really in around 2014, 2015, when that money started coming in for the St. Paul's school scam. That's when that really started to kick up. And it's gotten worse and worse ever since. Okay. When Umar has money, he's over here. When Umar has money, he's over here on that side of the spectrum. When he doesn't have money, he's over here. So when he's very agitated in this video, that's where he's at. See? I already have it queued up, Jesus Price. I'm gonna pull it up. This dude never fully grew up. These episodes he has are fascinating. I can only imagine what he does behind the scenes. He has split personalities. I do believe this to be the case, that he does have split personalities. Now, I'm not saying from a clinical standpoint, because I'm not here to diagnose the guy, but I'm just talking about the different personalities that Umar has created in his mind. Okay, there's King Kong consciousness, there's Big Papa, there's RBG, International RBG, there's Dr. Umar Johnson. Okay, there's Prince Ifatunde. I mean, the list goes Ifatunde Day or whatever it is. He has all these different, and these are all different personas that he creates. He's like Sigmund was saying earlier, he's like a Decepticon. He will transform into any of these people depending on the situation. That's why if we go back to the older videos where Umar, there were professionals that were coming out to listen to Umar. Everyone was dressed up. They had on suits. The women would come up dressed, really, really nice. And Umar would dress in suits and ties and that kind of thing. Those days are long gone. But that was Umar, the professional. That was Dr. Umar Johnson. He wasn't talking all this Pan-African talk and all this Black Power shit. He wasn't talking all that during those lectures. He was talking specifically dealing with what he called the school to prison pipeline, but he got that from someone else too. That's another plagiarism, but Umar, that's Umar. He was talking ADHD. He was talking about special ed and the prison, the school to prison pipeline, that type of thing, right? As a quote unquote school psychologist. See, that's another persona as a Decepticon, but he can transform to any of these other personalities when he needs to. Those days are long gone, though. He don't really talk about that stuff. Now he's just looking like a straight pookie. See, he talks more about sex than he talks about ADHD or special education. But if you guys go back to the older videos, that's where he was at back then. But then you see this transformation in the morphing, like Sauron. He'll change his shape. He's a changeling, like in Star Trek. He's a changeling. He'll change, and so he has all these different personalities. And then some of these personalities have a King Kong consciousness. That's the so-called thug, the street thug in Umar. When he did the SETI rant, he's sitting up there, with the beanie on and mother this and mother you ain't this and mother all this type of talk and N-word this, N-word that. I want to drop it, but I'm not going to do that. That's another personality of Umar. But really, his core personality, everyone, he has all these different ones. Okay, the player that's Big Papa. He has a video where he says, "Baby, baby." I said, "You clown." Anyway. The core personality, which is really who Umar is little Jermaine, who never grew up. In a state of arrested development. See? It is. It's fascinating. It really is. Okay. And if you study Umar long enough, you can see where he flips into these different characters. You can actually see it. Okay. Did I get to everyone's super chat real quick? Let me just check real quick. Yeah, I'm going to show this. Moms was like, yeah, you talking about a Queen Mother. I wish I knew her name. I actually did the research on that. She has all kinds of degrees and she has all type of, she's accredited and all kind of stuff. She's a very successful woman. She just wasn't playing with Umar. But you see, Umar, she's an elder. Umar, he will seek to intimidate her by yelling and directing it directly at her. But then once he's all done, he runs off the stage like a little baby. Throwing a little tantrum, and he just runs off the stage. I rarely see Umar move that fast. See, she got him. Thanks, set for super chat. Jesus Price, Hassa, and Lewis Luck. Gamers and drink. Yeah, I got this one. Okay, and I have it queued up. And then Sigmund also says, golden voice would not be so nice and understanding. They would have cut the mic and then, yeah. But I've seen videos where not necessarily they cut the mic on Umar, but you can tell that they were doing everything in their power to get him off the stage. An excellent example of that, I think it was a Sandra Bland, if memory serves me correctly, it could have been another one, but I think it was a Sandra Bland thing where he had bum rush the stage. They gave him a little bit of time and Umar kept going and going. You guys remember at a certain point, he actually was yelling and screaming. He lost his voice. He sounded like a Sith. That's what he sounded like. I said, what the world? And he doesn't, in that video, he doesn't have the self-awareness to say, let me just end this and get up off the stage, because he has to be the center of attention. It's the narcissism. It's the histrionics. He has to be the center of attention. He has to make it about him. It's supposed to be about Sandra Brown. Then Sandra Bland, he started talking about, I believe it was, I apologize if it was, it could have been someone else, but he then, towards the end, he starts talking about, I'm a descendant of Frederick Douglass, and he starts running down his family line, his so-called, he's not even related, okay? The DNA test already proved that he's not. But that just goes to show you that Umar will try to make anything about him. It doesn't matter. Even in the situation where we're talking about someone who, a young lady that was murdered by the police, he'll still try to make it about him. Real quick, Sigmund, there's a video, another example of this. And really what they should do in that situation, they should have cut the microphone. That's what they should, because he kept going. He lost his voice. He kept talking. But there's a video where Umar, he's doing a live stream, and the people in the chat room, they tell him that Nelson Mandela's wife passed away, Winnie. And you guys should see how Umar flips that into becoming all about him. And I sat back and my jaw dropped, because I was listening. And I said, okay, what is he doing? Because I was trying to figure out what was he trying to do with this? And he flips the death, and he hears about it, and he says, let's take a moment of silence. They take a moment of silence. And as soon as that's over with, it's all about him and how he's going to go to Africa, to South Africa. And if you guys want to come, we can go together. And they probably going to want me to come speak. And I said, what are you talking about? It's the narcissism. It's so far over the top. Now, and see, when I can see him going down, he didn't go down there, but I can see him going down to South Africa, trying to bum rush the stage, trying to get to, because he really thinks that he's on that level. There was a funeral that he went to. I can't remember whose funeral it was. Whose funeral was that? I think it was a singer. I can't remember. It wasn't Prince. But he went to the funeral and he's live streaming. And I said to myself, why are you doing that? Why are you even there? But he wants to act like he's so big, and he's this. Umar always has to make things about himself, and that means that he has to get to the stage. He has to somehow, he'll concoct, and even if he doesn't get to the stage, he'll concoct a scenario that he tells his followers that this is how I'm going to get onto the stage. The narcissism in this guy, it's incredible. Yeah, it could have been Breonna Taylor, excuse me, it might have been Sandra Bland. That's why I want to apologize. Okay, if I got it mixed up, I want to apologize. No disrespect. I have the videos. I can pull it up. My memory isn't as keen as it used to be in these regards. So I want to apologize if I got it incorrect. So thank you for the correction, Jesus Price. So it was, someone said it was Brianna. I can't remember. Okay, I apologize. Either way, okay, if I'm right on it, I apologize for not knowing for sure. If I'm wrong, I apologize for being wrong. Okay. User 225 says, Lenon confronts Umar at one of his events. Come on. See, it's not even necessary. It's not necessary. See, I even saw someone, and and then we'll get back to it because we're supposed to be done. We're almost 2 hours. Okay, goodness. Someone had posted and they said, "Well, Lenon, would you let Umar come and debate him on your platform?" I said, "Absolutely. He's welcome to come up here anytime. Umar, anytime. You can come up anytime. Just be prepared to answer the question. You're not going to be out talking me and yelling and shit and talking in circles. Because I'm just not. It's not going to happen. So you're gonna be held accountable, and whatever question that I ask you, you're gonna have to give a direct answer to. I don't want to hear all this mumbo jumbo shit. See, but Umar, he doesn't want to deal. He don't want to do that. So if you think about it, now I'm thinking about it, if you guys going to look at his interviews from back in the day, it was mainly with women, especially earlier on. But when he would go on to these male interviews, they wouldn't really challenge him. There was a few that did. Mike Nice did a great job. He did a fantastic job. There's a couple other people. Of course, Lord Jamar did a fantastic job too. But for the most part, they give him softball questions and he'd be talking in circles. I just, you know, it just wouldn't work with me. I'll keep him, and he'll run his mouth and say, no, well, the question was this, and I need a yes or a no. I need a direct answer to this. And then I'll ask the question again. And then that would be how I would basically interrogate his ass. He doesn't want that. I got interrogation skills. He would not be able to handle that. See, so with Umar, there's no need to confront him or any of that stuff. He's talked all kind of shit and talk about how what he gonna do and all. He ain't about that life. He never has been. He never will be. He's a marshmallow. Okay, and I'm not even into talking like that, but he is. He's back in the day. We would call someone like Umar a marshmallow. See, he ain't about that life. He never has been, and he never will be. And even the street persona shit. This guy, he went to a boarding school. I don't know what he's talking about. Y'all, hey, I'm from North Philly, blah. No. You was in Chambersburg. Cut it out. Everything was provided for you. You wasn't out there in them streets. See, Umar got back out into them streets because of the turning of the heat down. And we're gonna leave it right there. That's how he got back into the streets as a pookie. All right, thanks, user 225. Okay, let's go back to this video and let me play a little bit more of this, and then I'm going to pull up the requests that people made. I think there were 2 of them, but I have them all queued up, and then we'll close out the show. Okay, this will be an ongoing series. I got so many examples of Umar's disrespect to black women. Here we go.
FDMG is coming. You got one time to show up in your pajamas.
Here we go.
That is so unprofessional. To crawl out your bed with your man's juices dried up on your thigh, your juices dried up on your cheeks, and you crawled your ashy ass out the bed with sex crumbs all over you in your nasty pajamas, and you think you're going to come to the Frederick Doug, and you think you're going to walk into my school, and then you're going to drop them off late. Most of you pajama queens, most of you pajama mamas, that's what I'm going to call you. Pajama mama. Are you a pajama mama? Are you a pajama mama? Are you that pajama mama who be crawling out the bed with sex crumbs on you? Putting your dusty pajamas on flip-flops. Crust in your eye, crust stash around your mouth. You didn't go to bed till 4 o'clock, so you woke up late. Because your bend over session didn't start till about 1 in the morning, till Mike got free from selling his weed pack. So Mike didn't get to your house till 1:30. You and Mike didn't go to sleep till 4 o'clock because y'all was making black magic. And so you want to bring your son late. You want to sign him in late. Oh, Dr. Umar, I'm so sorry I overslept. Dr. Umar, I'm so sorry I overslept. And you think you're going to bring your late ass in my school? You think you're going to bring your late ass in my school with sex crumbs all on you? I'm going to line your ass up. I'm going to line you up. I'm telling you right now, black mother. And I'm going to aim at that weave. I'm going to aim at that perm and that blonde hair. Y'all know I can't stand a black woman with blonde hair. You know I can't stand a black woman. Oh, I'm a line.
Umar, no. See, someone said these descriptions that they sound, I mean, it's incredible, but he says he knows that he can't stand, you guys know that he can't stand women with blonde hair. No, that's not true. Umar, that's his type. That's what he wants. There's pictures. You can tell he gets so excited when the black women take pictures with him and they got the blonde weave. The stripper that he was dealing with, that he was having sex with, she had blonde weave. Umar likes blonde weaves. Umar likes the stripper types. And I have to say it, and I'm not condoning stripping. That's not what I'm saying. But, life is life. You get older. It's like, listen, people go down different paths. It's okay. But what I am saying is that's Umar's type. He likes the Sukihana types. He wants the blonde weave type. That's what he would prefer. And guess what? That's okay. It's okay. Just like I think he desires white women. And guess what? That's okay. But because Umar has created, he has all these different personalities, and there's so many different narratives that are associated, like, you know, what they're about, that are associated with these different characters, that it's almost like he puts himself in a box. It's almost like he puts himself in a corner to where he has to say certain things to legitimize all these other personalities. But in essence, what Umar, what the type of woman that he would want is the stripper type with the blonde weave. And guess what, Umar? It's okay. See, Umar, he's such an interesting character. He really is. He really is. The levels of cognitive dissonance that he has to deal with every day, it has to be maddening. He's crazy already. Okay, he's batshit crazy. Listen, that's what my favorite comedian, he said, that's what he, in rest in peace, Paul Mooney. He said they batshit crazy. Umar is batshit crazy. Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's okay. Just admit it. Yeah, he is. He's what's up, Vigilante? He's wigs too. It don't matter. A wigs, extensions, weave, whatever. There's other stuff too that I don't even, some of the stuff I don't even know, like newer stuff. I don't even know what it is. Anyway. All right. Anyway, let's finish this video. It's almost over with, or this section. Then I'll play the special request and we'll be up out of here.
You up? And I'm a super soaker your ass. Since you didn't want to wash your ass before you brought your son in, since you didn't want to wash your ass and you crawled out the bed with sex crumbs, since you didn't want to wash your ass, I'm gonna put some alkaline water and I'm gonna put a little I'm gonna put some what we call it? The African black soap. I'm gonna put some African black soap, since you don't want to wash your ass before you brought your son to my school after you had the sex crumbs. I'm gonna put some African shea butter soap in here with the alkaline water.
Okay, and this is a good point, real quick. Let me just speak on this real quick. We're almost done. Okay, y'all give me 5 minutes, 7 minutes, and this is so important. 70-bit. You see how I was talking about Umar's on the spectrum? This is the baseline Umar, and then there's Umar when he's high, and then there's Umar when he's in withdrawal stage. The withdrawal stage is where he's at in this video. That's why you hear him sniffing and shit. But the other thing is that he's upset and he's frustrated. But we can also ask the question, what else is he frustrated about? And that's why he's talking all this perverted sex talk. He's in a hotel room by himself. And this is not uncommon with Umar. This is why you guys have to be careful, especially black women out there. He has no respect for you. See? Part of the issue is Umar's sexual frustration. That's why he's spinning these very vivid sexual stories, almost like pornographic stories about black women who are doing these things with, who he say, Tay or whoever it was, Mike, you know, and that's why they're late to the school and they're coming in with fluid residue or whatever. Who talks like that? But see, let's be clear about that. That's Umar with his sexual frustration. See, all of it's intertwined. See, the substance abuse issues, the sexual frustration, the sexual debauchery, all the sex talk, the cookies, the crushing the cookies, and all this blah, blah, blah. It just goes on and on and on. But understand that in these moments, there's a level of frustration that's present in Umar, and it's tied to his sexual frustrations. See? So what I'm getting at is that in addition to his substance abuse needs not being met at this time, he's having withdrawal symptoms, also his sexual needs are not being met. And that's why he's acting and behaving in this way. It's called sexual frustration. So thank you for this 70 event. Umar, please put down your bedpan. No, that's not what that is. That's Umar. Okay, let's go 2 more minutes on this. I'm gonna pull up the special request and then we're gonna be out of here. Thank you all so much.
With the alkaline water. In fact, I'm gonna turn this into a super. This is a super circle bomb. I'm gonna just bomb her ass. I'm gonna just bomb. Super.
See, now this is language of violence and abuse. He did this too when he was talking. Someone remind me to, I don't know if I'm a live stream tomorrow, but someone remind me when we do part 2 of this, if someone in the Cook First chat, if you can remind me to pull up the video where he goes off on Zora, because that one was really, really bad. Okay, this one's bad too. This is up there, top 10. But that Zora video, that was really, really bad. Okay. The language of abuse.
Sucker. I can't stand a pajama mama. Always late, always in your pajamas. Always bringing your son to school late. Always in your... Do we have any pajama mamas on the live? Be honest, ladies. If you one of those irresponsible, undisciplined, go to sleep late, drop your kid off late, sex crumbs, pajama mamas, where you at?
Why we want to talk about himself with big time? What are you talking about? Using 225? Woo, big time wrong. What in the world? What in the world? Did I miss something? All right, let's keep going. They put a super chat though. Y'all crazy.
Where my pajama mamas at? Where my pajama? I know some of y'all on here. Stop lying. Where my pajama mamas? Some of y'all dropped your son off late to school this morning in your pajamas. Stop lying. Stop lying. Some of y'all dropped your son off late this morning in your damn pajamas with sex crumbs on you.
Yeah, that's what he said. Crazy as cat shit. That's what it was. Not bad.
Let's move
What's up,
on.
Dominique?
Be business oriented with the school, not friendly.
Okay. All right. There he goes off more too, but let's leave it at that because I want to pull up these special requests and we're going to close out the show. But the point is that these are very clear examples of Umar's disrespect of Black women. And it was present from the beginning. If you guys go back to the earlier Umar Johnson videos, even when he was talking about the school to prison pipeline and special education, and he was talking about ADHD and medication and all this type of thing, he would disrespect. He would often create these scenarios in his mind about single Black mothers, and it was all disrespectful. About, you know, I remember one time he says, "You guys are cooning. You guys are coons because you don't care about your kids." And I was sitting back like, look who's talking. He don't even take care of his own kids. This guy didn't even know his daughter's middle name until what 6 years ago, 5 years ago. So what are you talking about? He's a deadbeat. See, but these levels of disrespect, this is just one example. There's plenty of other examples in this series. I'll outline plenty of them. Okay. And in the documentary, I'll be sure to have them lined up in sequence where it'll probably be a whole chapter that just gives examples of Umar's disrespect of Black women. He does not care about you guys. He has no love. I'm going to say this before we do the special request. No, I'm going to say this. I want everyone to understand this. Umar does not know what love is. He can't even articulate what it is. I don't think Umar even has the capacity to love. And I don't want to say it breaks my heart, but it hurts for me to say that, but it's the truth. He doesn't have the capacity to love. One could argue you Umar Johnson followers, if you know Umar's history, you may say, yeah, but he loves his mother. No, he doesn't love his mother. His mother is a possession, nothing more. She is a bedrock within which he establishes some sort of residency when he can, but he's not supposed to be staying here. She provides him with a level of stability when it comes to a place to stay, lodging, nothing more. She's a resource in those regards. See? But he doesn't love or care in a human sense of the word. Okay, he may say these types of things to you Black women, that he cares about you or that he loves you, but he doesn't even have the capacity to do that. So I want to be clear about that with Umar, this is one of the reasons why he has been unable to establish a long-standing loving relationship with a woman. This is why at the age of 50, he can't give you guys a story about being in a long-standing loving relationship with the woman where you're building a relationship up over time. It just goes to show you that he has no respect. You in order to establish a loving relationship and to grow in it and to grow it over time, you have to have a level of respect for your partner. Okay, and I'm assuming that you're heterosexual. Okay, but if you're bisexual too, because it's 2024. But even if you're in a homosexual relationship, you have to have a level of respect for your partner. See, but Umar doesn't have that. He doesn't have any respect for anyone. To be quite honest with you, all Umar cares about is Umar. It's the narcissistic personality traits. All he thinks about is his own personal needs, whether that is the sexual aspect of this, the financial aspect of this, or the turning of the heat down aspect of this. So he doesn't know what love is. He cannot articulate it. He cannot express it. And these are some deep-seated issues with Umar that's dealing with his psychology that's tied to his childhood trauma, in my opinion. See? So this series will continue to explore this particular aspect of Umar Johnson and the levels of extreme disrespect that he has for you Black women. Someone remind me before we close out, I'll check the poll. If you haven't voted on the poll, please do so now, because we're going to go for 2 more minutes here, or 3 more minutes. Here's the video. Someone had asked me to pull this video up. Let's go with this one.
Okay.
This is Barry's favorite. Brother Barry's favorite one. Umar, he turned this into how he was being persecuted and blah, blah. They were checking everyone's car, but you know how Umar is. You got to turn it into something else. Okay, I think it's about right here. Actually, this video is long. This is a lot longer than I thought. Hold on one second. I think I might have skipped over it. Oh, here it go right here. Okay. Yeah, here it go right here. Oh, hold on. Let me back up just a little more. This was crazy. This was so crazy. It's no big deal, but Umar got to turn it into a big deal. He's so fast. That's me right there. You see me? That's me and Umar. We was kicking it. We went on the road trip to Mexico. I'm just playing. So fantastic. He was like, sound like a slithering snake.
Once you're done, I'll clean it up, boss. Done.
Once you're done, I'll clean it up, boss. All that tough talk. I remember he one time he told black people that we need to take the police officer's weapon and blow their off. All that tough talk. But at the end of the day, in this simple situation, there's nothing big going on. Umar is like, I'm gonna clean it up for you, boss. As I remember, he was talking trash about cops earlier. Yeah, that's what he do. He'll talk. That's what I was saying earlier. He'll talk trash about anybody, but he ain't trying to step to no man. He's not. I called him marshmallow. What that means is he's soft. He's that type of a person. See, if he's confronted with even this type of a situation, he's gonna bow down and he's gonna lay on his belly like the snake that he is and hiss. Hey, balls, you moving? That's what he do. See, Umar, he's such an interesting character. He presents himself as like some sort of alpha male, but the truth of the matter is that he's a little boy. He ain't stepping to no real men, and obviously he ain't trying to, have no static with no police officers in real life. But he will get online and he will talk all that mess. But if he's in the presence, he will humble himself and he'll act like. Oh, let me stop. I was going to use that word again. He'll act like the member that he is. I don't want to use that word. I used it twice today. 3 times. I give myself only 5 times I can use the B word, but only when talking about Umar. Okay. All right. Thanks, Barry. Thanks, Barry, for the super chat. That's Barry's favorite. He said, well, if you can pull that one up, sir. But Umar, he go back to the slave times. He just boss. We gonna cut it down. Whatever it is, boss. Say we gonna cut it down. Whatever it is, boss. I said if you need me, boss, to clean up that mess, boss, let me know. I sure will. I sure will. Cause we gonna cut it down on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, especially on Sunday, we gonna cut it down, boss. Mm-hmm. Someone said Dr. Woods. Oh my God, that's crazy. Don't do that, Eastby. You be taking it too far. You know, I'm telling you, Cookie Crush chat, y'all be taking it too far. I shouldn't laugh at this. I really shouldn't. But it just goes to show you this whole. It's just I don't know what to say. Let's just finish this up. Okay, someone asked request for that, and then someone requested the turning of the heat down. So let me pull that one up, and then we be out of here. Boy, this show turned out to a classic. Let me do this one, and we're gonna be done. Thank you all for your patience tonight. It is a lady. It's just, and it just keeps going. I don't know when this whole it's literally the master. You know what I'm saying? Okay, all right. Yeah, I know. It's just it's crazy, but that's what it is. That's what it is. We working, family. We getting the. Okay, here we go. Let me know if you guys can hear the audio on this. And without gainful employment, Umar Johnson has become nothing more than a homeless cyberbum, a virtual vagrant, a digital destitute. The irony is that Umar Johnson's school scam has been in effect for over 10 years now. And the scam itself has become a ball and chain that shackles Umar Johnson to the fantasies that he continues to echo in his own shattered psyche. Umar Johnson has become a slave to his own deluded mind and is oblivious to the truth that his life has become a cautionary tale of how fame, greed, selfishness, lies, deceit, mental disorder, and various addictions can, in fact, destroy a person's life from within. Know this, the walls of justice are closing in on Umar Johnson, and perhaps this will, in the end, be the path through which he can receive the proper intervention needed to climb up and out of the muck and mire that is his disgraceful and dishonorable life. Wow.
So, I have 3 possible suspects.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
For the murder of my Philadelphia brother, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. I have 3. Number 1, and these are in no order. No suspect is of more interest than the other. These are in no particular order. You are listening to the Prince of Pan-Africanism somewhere within the ghettos of North Central Philadelphia. The NBA, as a multinational corporation, is a suspect in Dr. Umar's investigation. The National Basketball Association is a suspect in Dr. Umar's investigation. That's right. The goddamn NBA is a suspect. As soon as I said that, Mama Oya blew my cell phone off the stand. As soon as I named the NBA as a suspect, Mama Oya, and now the wins is coming. Soon when I said the NBA, Orisha Oya blew my phone off the stand. That's not proof that it was the NBA, but that's damn sure some good evidence.
Wow, I mean,
that's not proof that it was the NBA, but that's damn sure some good evidence that soon when I mention the NBA.
if you guys don't mind, I just real quick, and the part that people requested is coming up. It's just I haven't seen this in such a long time. I really haven't. And I'm working on the new document. The new document is going to be 6, 7, 8 hours. And I'm going to have to go back through and do a massive reorganization of all of my files because I'm realizing the scope of all this, and the organization system that I have is efficient, but it's not going to be efficient enough once I get further down in this timeline. So it's better for me to do this now, or at least start the process of getting things revised in my storage and archival system, to do it now than later. If the longer I wait, the more difficult it becomes, if that makes sense. But I want people to be clear about something. Remember earlier, I hope I articulated well enough so that it made sense, how Umar's on the spectrum. There's that core Umar who's right here down the middle, and then there's Umar when he's high, and then there's Umar when he's having withdrawal symptoms. Understand that in this video, this is Umar when he's having withdrawal symptoms. Okay, that's why he's looking like this. See, and behaving like this for that matter.
NBA, the ancestors blow the cell phone off the stand. I just wanted to point that out. Did y'all see what just happened, brothers and sisters? Did you see what just happened? I've been talking to y'all for how long? How long I've been talking to y'all just now? How long have I been talking to y'all just now? And so when I mention the NBA as the first suspect in Kobe's death, my cell phone get blown off the stand. That's not proof. It's still debatable, but it's a good piece of evidence.
I keep telling you, consciousness over coochie, politics over punani. I keep telling y'all that. Consciousness comes before coochie.
I'm coming. Let me get up. Wait a minute.
All right, take your time, man. Let me turn this heat down.
There you go. Damn.
My baby was sleeping in the bed. Gotta go way off. I'm coming. Let me get up. Wait a minute.
All right, take your time, man. Let me turn this heat down.
My baby was sleeping in the bed. Gotta go way off to the kitchen.
Yeah, that's it. So I can't remember who sent this to me, but I remember I saw it, said, man. And there's other videos where he does this too. You can tell because he'll do this with his, if you guys can see this, when he's been turning that heat down, that's what we call it. But you see what he was snorting something. He'll be doing like this afterwards. And I have videos where he does that. You know, it's sad too, because if you go back to the older videos, you can see where Umar was at. I mean, his life has been a problem in terms of his progressions in life. He's always been a troublemaker. I think the narcissism has been there for a very long time. But to see him go, as I'm going through this timeline, to see him devolve as he has, it's actually saddening. You know, it's saddening to me. I hope that he at some point gets the help that he needs. To this day, the substance abuse is an issue. It's more of an issue today than it ever was. And understand people who struggle with these types of issues, that everything is about fulfilling that particular need. In Umar's case, fulfilling the need to turn the heat down, but also fulfilling the sexual needs too. So that's where the school comes in. That's to close out. The school is like the hub to manipulate people in such a way to have the money funnel through, so that that money can ultimately be distributed towards Umar in his need to turn the heat down. But then also the school becomes a hub to manipulate you black women into thinking that he's doing something for you to save your black boys. He's doing something to you, doing something for you because he loves you or respects. He has no respect. He has no love. Really what it does is it puts him in position to be able to gain access to you. And it could be virtual access, it could be financial access, but it can also be sexual access at a certain point. And this is Umar. In a nutshell, that's really what Umar is. It's sad, but you know, it is what it is. And to close out, let me just say this. Thank you all too, everyone. It's Good Quest Chat. Let me say this, like I started off with this in this live stream, you Umar Johnson followers. I've done enough research into Umar and enough analysis into Umar to know what it is. Just because you don't doesn't mean that there is anything that you can say that's going to stop me from speaking the truth. And I would encourage you, Umar Johnson followers, to take the time to do your due diligence and do the research that is necessary so that you can learn as much as you need to learn about Umar so that you can have informed consent. And what that really means is that you know exactly what Umar is about. And I've outlined some of it here today. We're going to continue with this series. We'll probably do the next part 2 next week. And we'll continue to discuss this issue of Umar's disrespect of Black women. Understand that everything that he says that may sound nice, it's no different than when the drug addict tells people stories about what he needs money for so that he can get that money. You guys know what I'm talking about if any of you guys been around this shit. Well, someone like Umar Johnson, in terms of exploiting you Black women, he will say whatever he needs to do in order to get into your draws. It's the same principle, and that's how he lives. That's how Umar lives. That's who Umar is. All right. Thank y'all so much for tuning on in. I won't do a closeout song. We're going to end it right there. I want to thank everyone inside the chat room. T. Jones, thank you for being here. I will have a member video up, at least 1 minute member. I'm trying to do 2 for you members tomorrow, so you guys can look forward to that. Yeah, Umar's talked about getting high in his shrine. I got other examples too, where he's talking with one of what was it, Brother Manny, rest in peace, and he's talking about whether he was asking Brother Manny if he had gotten all of the drug paraphernalia out of FDMG up there in Wilmington, Delaware, and he's talked about the stuff that we were smoking or whatever, or we were burning. What he's really talking about, they was doing something up in there. I know what it was. There's other examples too. I have plenty of receipts on that too. It is what it is, you know, and people need to come to grips with that. Umar needs to come to grips with it too, because oftentimes drug addicts, they're like in denial. You know, they're like, no, I don't have a problem. No, he has many problems. Gambling too. Okay. Thank you so much, Alan, for being here. Barry, thank you for being here. Information Man, shout out to Information Man and salute. This is the one of the homies right here. I really appreciate you. Jopal, thank you so much for being here as well. Sound of Music, thank you so for being here as well. Yeah, you're right about that, Bernie. Thank you so much. Gazo Princess and Mods, thank you for handling business. It's going to be like this for a while. Okay, so just be ready. I appreciate y'all. So, what's up, lady? Someone said Casino Tuesday. What's up, humble ones? Hope you're doing all right. We closing out now. Someone said Tyrone Biggums Johnson. Okay, all right. Okay, good, Chrisette. Thank you so much for tuning on in. Please enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you for taking the time to spend with me. Hope you enjoyed the show. Oh, real quick, the poll. Get your final votes in. Let me just go look at what the final tally is for the poll. And the poll is dealing with basically what is asking the question: what level of disrespect what level of hatred do you think Umar has for Black women? Okay, as of right now, there's 863 votes. Thank you, everyone for. Oh, actually, let me update this because there may be more. Let me just check real quick. Y'all hold on 1 second. Okay, here it is. Okay, 863 votes. What level of hatred do you think Umar has for Black women? 18% said low, 17% say mid, 26% say high, and then, 26% say high, and then 40% say extremely high. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end this vote right now. Thanks everyone who took the time to vote. My answer is that it's extremely high. I actually think that it's pathologically high. The levels of disrespect, and that disrespect is something that he's had since his teenage years. I think he has developed some extreme levels of disrespect and animus towards women, and I think it goes back to his childhood experience, in particular dealing with his mother. Okay. Anyway, thank you all so much for tuning on in. Please, if you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button before you head out the building. I want to thank our mods again for handling business. Thanks everyone who sent in super chats. Okay, I always appreciate it. I want to thank everyone. I appreciate the support. I'm not sure if I'm going to live stream tomorrow. I'll let you guys know at some point. I'll post on my community tab, but I will do member videos tomorrow. Maybe we'll do a member live stream. I'm off tomorrow. Maybe we'll do it during the day. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning on in. And I hope that this particular series reaches enough Black women to where they can start to look deeper into Umar, to where they can make the best decision for themselves to keep themselves safe. And in my opinion, that's why we should talk about Umar, especially as Black men. That's our responsibility, is to keep women and children safe. It's our duty. Okay. And if we honor that duty, understand that life will be good. But if we dishonor that duty and we walk away from it, as Umar Johnson has had, understand that it will cause a lot of pain and suffering in the world. And that's not what manhood is about. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and I'll talk with y'all soon. Okay, y'all take care. Peace.